Welcome to Houston, the fourth largest and most diverse city in the U.S. and the place that I call home. The small business scene here is thriving, from business development programming to networking events, fundraisers, and galas. There is always something to do and someone to meet, and I'm your guide, Dr. PJ, and welcome to my storyline. This is it. This photo is the interview that catapulted my career in small business advocacy. A few weeks on the job, I was thrust into doing a presentation for our partners. Mark Davenport happened to be there and asked me to be a guest on his show, Straight to the Top, and the rest was history. Now, I've served over 10,000 businesses, managed over 20 business development programs, and attended countless number of events. So my day is never the same, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And now I'm bringing just a touch of it here to Dr. PJ's storyline. My goal is to give you insight on what's going on in the business ecosystem by taking you inside the stories of marginalized businesses and career stories of those who are on the path of legacy. As a PhD, my dissertation was centered on family businesses and intergenerational careers and how they build and maintain legacy. I turned my dissertation into a book called Pursuing Legacy. So you can bet that we'll touch on some of those interesting stories as well. My ultimate goal is to build a community of support through this show so that I welcome you to stay connected and get engaged with this experience. So in this episode, I wanted to focus on entrepreneurship, but from the perspective of startups. Many times when you see a business, it was not the owner's first business. I know I've had several that never got off the ground, including some that never got out of my mind. However, this is common due to various reasons, whether it's our own self-limitations or lack of resources and know-how, or just being unaware of how to seek support. So today we're going to talk to someone who has experienced the pitfalls of a startup and see how we can provide some guidance on how to launch a business in the short time that we have today. Now, to get started, a solid foundation is key to success. So let's take a look at some facts. Now, did you know, in general, it takes 2 to 3 years to reach profitability. 75% of startups survive their first year in business, while 69% survive the first 2 years, and only half make it to 5 years. A business labeled as an overnight success has typically been around for 10 years. So much can happen in those formative years of a business, especially when it starts off as a hobby, or the infamous term, a side hustle. But however you describe it, when it comes to business, you will get out exactly what you put in. And you must know that you have to be willing to wait on your return, because it will take a long time to build a business and to see those residuals. So be patient and consistent, persistent yet flexible, and always, always be willing to learn. Speaking of being consistent with starting a business and learning, I want to take the time to introduce my next guest, who says that if she can give advice to anybody in the rebuilding stage, and that is to stay and remain consistent. Everyone, please welcome Ashley, and make sure you stay tuned for some business advice, some quick business tips to help you get your business off the ground. And Ashley is a business owner who has started her business and is in the process of rebuilding. And so what I really wanted to do is to capture the stories of those folks in this pilot episode of Dr. PJ's storyline and really understand why and the challenges that people have in starting a business. And so I know that it's a struggle, because sometimes people don't quit their jobs to start a business, and they start something on the side, starts with a hobby, as a side hustle, all those different things. So it's really great to get the stories and the perspective of people who are in the process of starting their business and in that experience. So Ashley, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great, Dr. P. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thanks for joining us. And so this is just really want to get your experience. So can you tell us about your business and how long or when did you start it as well?
Okay, perfect. So my business is a health and wellness business called Total Life Changes. And what my business does is basically help promote health and wellness, health improvement. We sell a plethora of different products. You probably heard of the detox tea because that's our biggest seller, where we help with detoxing and weight loss. But we also sell products that deal with men's health, women's health, common health disparities that unfortunately we deal with, like diabetes, heart disease, cancer. So it's all about just health improving ourselves to be the best version that we can while we're on earth.
So I really want to tap into the story. So why this particular business?
Good question. So I actually started the business in 2020. It was a side hustle. It was actually offered to me by my coworker, and shout out to education because I'm a teacher. It was actually offered by my coworker, Tiffany Mosley. So we just had a good little conversation during lunch. She was like talking about weight loss and how, she wants to lose weight. And I said, man, I want to lose it too. She said, well, I've been drinking this tea and it's really helping me out. And I want you to try it out and see for yourself. So I started drinking the detox tea, which it works. It works. I started detoxing and cleansing. And then I also joined her in working out at the gym. We would go to the gym and work out nonstop for 15 days. So after that, I saw results. I saw not only did I lose the weight, but I felt healthier from within about how I feel and just feeling lighter and much better and have a clear peace of mind, if that makes sense. So when I said, okay, I'm a product of the product, let me go ahead and sign up and do this. So I said, hey, let me do this and let me be a blessing to other people in their weight loss journey.
Great. So it's something that you tried for yourself. And basically, like you said, you're not only the client, but you're the president, right? You're the owner of the company, and you wanted to help people to experience the same thing that you experienced, to bring joy and healthy living to their life. So with doing that, so we have the passion that you have to start the business, you have the personal connection, and just in general, you wanting to help other people lets us know that you're caring and you're nurturing. What challenges have come, or what barriers have you faced in really starting this business and getting it to where you want it to be?
I would say financially, the lack of resources at times, because it does take money to invest and start your business. And so continually trying out not just the detox tea for the weight loss, but the other different products we offer, like NutriBurst, that helps with your immunity, and taking over 90. It's a liquid multivitamin that has over 90 different minerals and vitamins in it. And then I had to try other products like NRG that helps boost your energy and helps with your mental clarity. So trying all these different things to promote the business, it just started getting costly. And I was just running short. So that was a struggle. Another challenge that I had was the lack of support at times, because I really tried to put it out there on social media with my family and my friends, promoting it and, saying, hey, just try it out. I got free samples and this and that. And you'd be surprised that when you do reach out to your family or your people, they're not as receptive, supporting you back. So that was a struggle. And then just trying to get my followers and followers up on social media, because that's how I basically promoted myself. Remember, we was in a pandemic around 2020 at the beginning, and nobody was getting out, going door to door or going to different pop-up shops and things like that. So I had to reinvent myself, get more creative, and do everything online. So that was a struggle too.
Yeah, and you really hit on some things too, because when the pandemic happened, there was an influx of people starting their own business, and I was on that receiving end trying to help people. And then also with it being online, like we did, kind of like had our fingers or our feet wet or toes wet in online. But 2020, the pandemic really forced everybody to just stop the in-person and really shift to online. And that was a big pivot, and a lot of people had to pivot. And unfortunately, I think it's about 40%, I'm not for sure on the exact percentage of businesses that just didn't make it because of the pandemic, but yet so many of them were birthed during that time. And so it's just really good to hear, your experience and the challenges, because a lot of people face the same challenges. Just from my end, working with businesses, business takes a long time, and the stats I shared, 2 to 3 years before you see profitability. And that's just the average. Some industries will take longer, but I think sometimes people miss out on the time that you have to put into it. But you have a full-time job, you have other things going on in your life. So talk about the time, like how do you manage that to start a business with everything else you have going on?
Wow. Oh my gosh. When you started talking about time, it took me back. So the timing worked out in the beginning because beginning of the pandemic, we all stayed at home. I virtually taught. So I had a lot more extra time on my hands when that happened. So I was all for it, like, woohoo, I'm out here promoting it. I'm walking and exercising and encouraging, got some friends joining in with me. I'm filming, I'm recording, I'm just doing great. Business is booming because at that time people started to stay in the home, eat more than they normally do, and started gaining weight. So that was like an influx for me, total opportunity for me to take advantage, right? Oh, but when we had to return back to work, it was like, I don't know what happened. I can speak for myself, but I feel like other educators can relate. It's like, oh, you back in office now, so let's put on more workload for you guys. And I was just like drained in work. I had to work late, take work home, and just really focus on my primary job, which means I lost that momentum that I had in the beginning with the business. So I'm back to rebuilding and trying to figure it out, but timing is everything. You have to put that time and that effort in. That is what's going to build positive results. That's what's going to help profit your business, because if you don't work it, you won't make money.
Exactly. And so as we come to a close, I just want you to kind of touch on, as a business owner who's in the process of rebuilding, who hit moment, transition of businesses to now where you're rebuilding, what resources or how can the small business community, comprised of other small businesses, of people who support small businesses, agencies and organizations wise, as well as clientele, how can we better support businesses like yours who are in that rebuilding stage?
I would just say, I can relate to small business owners. And for me, if I see things out there that are new, that are different, I like to try things out. I like to say, hey, let me at least support you once and see how it goes for me and, give back. So being that support, just trying it out once to say, hey, I like it or don't, that helps out a lot. And it's just so simple to just, hey, if you can just share my business on your page, on your story, just to get the word out, resources, pointers, ideas, suggestions. Having that mentor, I know for me worked a lot. And also being around my community of what I'm doing, like health, wellness, being able to see others that are successful in front of me that can give me that advice or guide me along the way. I mean, all those things just play a huge part in helping me rebuild.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us and to share your experience. I know a lot of people can relate to what you said and to your story. And really, for everyone watching, some of the things she said were just really easy things that we all can do, because I really believe we have to build a community for small business. And whether we're a small business owner or not, we have to show that support. And something just as simple as saying, liking or sharing someone's business on their social media, telling someone else about the business. And like you said, just try it out and see. You know, life is about trying out. And so we know that we all need support in various areas of our life. And so when we talk about our small businesses, we see them out there, which our small business owners are our neighbors, they're our sisters, they're our brothers, they're our cousins, they're our colleagues, right? And so we can just do something so simple as to support them, because you never know how far that support goes. I really appreciate Ashley for sharing her story with us. After our interview, I provided her with some resources that she could take advantage of, and also gave her some quick tips on how she can build her clientele, as well as use efficient marketing strategies to free up some time for her, as well as create a consistent flow of business. Speaking overall, especially when it comes to marketing, you want to launch your website, build your social media, which means select the best social media platform for your target market, grow your client list, as well as document your successes. Celebrate those successes. Your story is relatable, and plus it gives you great social media content. These QR codes will get you to the resources. For extra support, make sure you please join my business support group sessions every third and fourth Saturday at 9 a.m. You can sign up at drpj.online. Well, thank you for tuning in to Dr. PJ's Storyline, and please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you here on YouTube for the next episode right here at Dr. PJ Online. Bye-bye.